few days ago I was working up in Hereford. I thought I went for a nice little paddle before work, which was quite cool. And then I had this like kind of half silly idea. It was an extension of ideas we've had. We wanted to paddle, jump on the Wye River at Glaisby and sort of see how far we could paddle basically. The idea was basically to try and do it in flood, so to wait for a big storm or something like that, try and do it in flood and sort of see how so we get as much assistance as possible from the river and sort of head down. But when I was paddling on Friday I was like, ooh, it's the longest day next week and I'm not at work. Sorry, lorry going past. I thought, screw the flood bit, let's just see how far we can get. So on the longest day, do a long paddle. I thought that'd be quite a cool little thing to do. So here we are at 4:30 in the morning, making a coffee. Yeah, we're going to sort of set off and try and go from sunrise to sunset, which is 16.5 hours. Then yeah, just see how far we can get. Sort of just, I've not really ever done a paddle where I sort of just chill on the paddle. Like longer paddles I've done have been like races and stuff like that. It'd be great to do 100 kilometers, and to do that I've got to average 6k an hour. So yeah, we'll see how far we can get, and just sort of say sunrise is in 20 minutes time now at 4:51. But yeah, we'll sort of just finish making coffees, then just head off down the river, see what happens. So here we are at the bridge in Glaisby, start of the challenge. Yeah, just gonna finish our cup of coffee. Here she is. And then head off down there. The rocks, because it's summer, so the river's going to be pretty shallow. So not ideal conditions, but we'll see how it goes really. Oh, just saw a fish jump. But yeah, it's 3 minutes till kickoff. So yeah, let's crack on down the river, shall we? We're off. First set of rapids up ahead, sunrise. I think it's going to be a day of walking through things today, but we'll see what happens. So done a couple of rapids so far, quite shallow, so I'm to walk through some of them. It's hard to read how deep they are, but it's all good. But this is the view we're met with this morning so far. Amazing. I'm not sure if you can see on the camera, but it's like amazing, just little fog on the water, which is beautiful. It's definitely worth getting up early in the morning sometimes. But yeah, so the sun has technically risen, but we're behind the hills in front of us at the moment. So we're generally heading east. We should get the sunrise over the river, which would be amazing. Yeah, let's push on. First kilometres wasn't quite as expected. A bit of stopping and stuff, so yeah, a bit slower. Obviously going slow at the moment, but yeah, sort of averaging. Last little bit of flat was like average about 7, so that's on target. So yeah, let's carry on. Our first proper glint of the sun. We've done an hour, about 7 kilometres in that hour, so that's good. Above sort of expectation, quite a bit of that been walking, so it's been not too bad. Nice and warm. Took my first tumble, got a bit moist. Should have cut my fin a little bit shorter, but brain blob. Yeah, I should cut my fin a bit shorter. I thought about it yesterday, but yeah, just keep on catching it, and that I just hit a big rock with the fin and launched me forwards. When my baggies on my board, it means it's better for balance, but it's also a little bit harder for dropping down, as you're kind of going to go around the bag, but it's all workable. We're doing it. She doesn't get much better than that. Unfortunately near a road, but apart from that, it was amazing. Yeah, it's quite shallow. But so yeah, in between the shallow bits I'm sort of pushing on quite well, or just backing over shallow bit. You may experience a fin tapper. Yeah, she's all good, a bit better focus on this river. Quite a lot of this is happening it today. Just taking the board for a walk. Actually not too bad, I probably could get back on. Yeah, looks like another shallow bit coming up. But that section back there, you can't see it, but yeah, it was like ankle deep. It was only just deep enough to float the board really. Looks like over here, it looks like it's going to be deep enough to get back on the sock shortly. I think it is. I'm up to my knees. That's the official deep enough. So yeah, stop for breakfast in 2.5 hours, just over. Paddling about 17k. So yeah, not too bad. No idea where I am. I'll look at the map in a minute. Yeah, little breakfast. A little bit later than I planned, but just trying to find a spot that was suitable. That seemed quite suitable, if I'm honest. Breakfast spots go, not too bad. Yeah, it's a little off for breakfast, muesli and chopped banana. So yeah, nice little power breakfast. It was too early to eat anything when I set off. I'll just be hungry about now anyway, so I might as well just be hungry and then have breakfast. So that's the theory. So yeah, cool. Check it. I've got coffee as well. The most important part of breakfast. Okay, going well. We're just 30 kilometres at the moment. I've already got a bit deeper now, so it's quite good. Bigger stretches of lovely flat water, which obviously is a bit more effort, less flow, but you can actually paddle. So I'm sitting about 8k an hour around that sort of area. It's quite good. Yeah, amazing. Lots of wildlife. Gonna stop it. It's 10 o'clock at the moment. Gonna stop about 10:30 for a little snackerette. Yeah, catch you in a bit. So it's 20:11 at the moment. Been paddling for almost 6 hours, which isn't even halfway. But yeah, just thought I'd stop. It's quite warm. It's probably about 25 degrees. So I'll go in there, have a cool down before I overheat and spontaneously combust. Here, it's been a storm. Can't get on there, it's cooling me down. All good. Play with the storm for there. Stopping for a bit of lunch. There's trout or fishy wishies over there jumping, which is quite cool. Seeing them. Dragonflies flying around. Stoves on. Oh, dude. Find a bit just there. Find a bit. Chuck it in. Love this thing. It's just works so well. It's quite good. I can just feed the fire with what's cottage really around me. As we're getting nearer Hereford, it's getting a bit more interesting. A few more sort of rapids and stuff, which is good. And, yes, The landscape's building up a bit of height as well, which is probably why we're getting the rapids. But yeah, all good fun. We're at the moment, change hands, rolling away, 9 hours and 53 kilometres. Stopped for half an hour for lunch, so we're half an hour behind actual pace, but still on target, which is averaging 6k an hour. So yeah, good paddling. Oh, some little ducky bucks over there, teeny tiny ones. You won't see them on the camera. They're over there, by those bushes, hiding from you. So we made it to Hereford. Turns out it's about 60k. I thought, my calculations thought I put it in about 50, but 9k over, but I still just didn't obviously track the river that well. I was planning it. But yeah, here we are. It's mad to think these arches in flood are full of water. It's kind of mad. Just over 70k now. Thought it'd be a good opportunity to sort of say what gear I'm up to today. So today I'm on my trusty Airline 2019. I hate to think how many miles this board's done now. Like, it's a sturdy old beast. Cut down. It's like the in touring fin, but I've cut it down to be a bit more swept back and a bit smaller for river. They could do a bit shorter again, like take another an inch or so off of it. Could be quite good. Got my normal Exped dry bag, goes everywhere with me. Also got the InReach tracker, so people can keep an eye on where I am, for safety, and also for, you know, be curious how far I'm getting and how silly I am. And I've got 2 paddles as well. I've got a hybrid carbon enduro, large and adjustable. I use that for my river paddle because it's absolutely bomb proof. Like, I've just been driving this into rocks all day and it's still unscratched. It's gonna make this paddle is amazing. And when it's deeper, I've got the Alima with me as well, just because it's lighter and nicer to use for flat water. Yeah, and I've got my standard Dakine waist pouch as well, my hydration pouch, which I attach my leash to. Yeah, so that's me and my gear. So what's it, 4:30 now, just had a little break. Back's definitely feeling it now, but yeah, still pushing on. So yeah, we've still got another 5 hours effectively to paddle. So yeah, let's smash on down the river. Bridge where it all began. Yes, I was here last week and then came up with this idea. I've always wanted to do see how far I could paddle on the Wye. Yeah, last week I was here and I was like, ooh, longest day next week. Maybe we could give that a go. So yeah, here we are. Very similar conditions when I was here last week. Nice and sunny. Beautiful. Also happens to be a nice bridge to one wheel over as well. Cool. We're at 88 kilometres at the moment. 89, just about to roll over as we drift. And we're at almost 16 hours. No, not 14 hours, 15 minutes. So yeah, getting there. So we're almost there, last few kilometres. Going to stop in Ross and Wye. Dave's picking up from there. The sun's gone down but has not set yet. It's 3 minutes to 9. It's set at 9:30. Don't know what the distance is because my watch that's died. Yeah, just my 10-year-old watch is the battery's not quite as good as it once was. But it's stopped at 95, and I think I've been paddling for 2 hours after that, an hour and a half after that, so it's probably 110 kilometres around that sort of area, I reckon. So yeah, super good. Had a bit of wind a couple of hours back, which was just classically me, but not too bad, just like half an hour I suppose, just like swearing at the wind. Now it's totally gone again. As you can see behind me, it's total mill pond. General state of the body, I think fueling's been alright from the bits and bobs I just grabbed from the house. Just snack food really. I haven't really eaten properly. Been doing the Torx hydration and NG fueling systems in my drink. That just seems to keep me going anyway. Just eat some stuff just for the sake of eating stuff. Nuts, jelly babies, a few gels, some bread and some fruit. So yeah, that's that. General state of the body, not too bad. Got a bit of a blister on my left hand, just there. Apart from that, my right calf. It always seems my right calf goes a bit nuts. I don't know why that is. I don't know if I'm more dominant on that, so I push on it more when I'm paddling. I don't know. But yeah, that's probably my only thing that's like hurting or cramping. General fatigue and everything else, but like, yeah, happy still paddling at like 8-9k an hour. But yeah, thoroughly good paddle. Probably got like 2k to go. Should get there before, hopefully get there before sunset. And I'm hoping Dave's got a nice cold beer set on the table for me. That's fingers crossed. Had a little bit of an issue with the camera on the end of the paddle, so I'm going to leave it a bit of time lapse from the paddle. So obviously we get on the river. Total distance of the paddle was about 105-110 kilometers. So my watch died at 93 kilometers, and I then from that point tracked sort of from the river up to the finishing point. Finished in Ross-on-Wye. Yeah, so not too bad. There was a pub there, and David did have the aforementioned nice cold beverage for me. So yeah, then we sort of packed up the boards, went off, and yeah, that was about it really. Dave sort of then zoomed me back up to Glaseby, whereupon I sort of packed up, sort of got everything back in the van, and then sort of started driving home, and I was like so sleepy at that point. It's about midnight. So yeah, I got so super sleepy, so I sort of crashed for the night, sort of on the side of the road, found a nice little spot, expecting to be broken the next day. We sort of got up the next day and sort of felt totally fine, ready to go again really, which I was a little bit surprised by. I was expecting to be a little bit more broken, but yeah, not too bad. The other thing I wanted to sort of cover in this little summing up thing was the fact my mood changed. Sort of, it was quite an interesting thing. So during the day, up in like till 14 hours, that sort of time, I was just tootling down the river, just happily sort of not having really too much of a care and stuff, and yeah, sort of in a really sort of zen moment, I suppose. But then as soon as I'd sort of worked out where sunset would get me and where I'd meet Dave, then I had this, it was weird, I had this like time pressure to get, I had no time pressure at all, because if I was a little bit early, a little bit late, wouldn't have mattered. Dave would have sort of waited for me, or I would have got there a little bit earlier and I'd wait for Dave, it wouldn't have mattered. But as soon as I pinpointed this time and this place to be, my whole sort of mood changed. It was quite a weird sort of transition. So I was pressure on. I had to then keep on paddling and focus on paddling, and yeah, it was definitely quite weird. It's sort of going back almost into that sort of race format sort of mindset, where you've got to push on, you've got to get somewhere. Yeah, it was sort of a weird ending to the paddle really.